Hello everyone, Dimensional Traveler here, and today I have some sad news. I know I promised you I would release another solo survival series video, but has been a change of events. And by change, I mean technical difficulties, which I cannot overcome on my own. So the problem I'm having to deal with is the Happauge can't record the full video. So before I started the video, because I wanted to be sure, luckily I didn't go too far. Thought it would work, but it didn't. So I still have one apple in the chest. But basically what I'm getting across is the Happauge capture I have isn't working properly, and for some reason the graphics are actually following me perfectly for some reason. I don't know why. That's the first. But anyways, yeah. The problem is the Happauge capture isn't recording properly. Sometimes the screen display won't come up, even when I reboot the computer. Sometimes even like the whole machine and all that. I keep coming across it. I keep testing to see if the display would work and all that, and it works fine sometimes, but then after it doesn't. For some reason, it's just messing up so big. It's just not working for some reason. I start recording for a little bit, like about a minute or so, and then the screen display when I watch it just freezes. So I don't know much about the Happauge of like how to fix it, but what I'm getting across is one of the main reasons why I want to get high on subscriptions for my channel. It is not for money. That I can guarantee you. Even though the AdSense thing is still being figured out so that I can get the starting video ads there for you, in case if you clicked on the video by mistake and you didn't want to watch it right now, type of thing like that. But basically what's going on is one of the main reasons why I want to get highly subscribed is because of the fact I do not have much technical support. Now Slinky, he knows some stuff, but he doesn't know how to help out with the Happauge completely. We did some tests before. We wrote down a little sequence on what to do when it comes to the Happauge. I've tried everything. Believe me, I tried everything I could possibly think of or come across. But the thing is, I don't have much technical genius or support or anything like that that can help me out. Slinky, I'm not putting the pressure on him because A, he's not always here, and B, he doesn't know how to run the Happauge properly himself either. So that's where the problem comes in. I think it might be too much for my computer to handle with the display and the functions. That could be it. So if it works for his video when it comes to display on his screen, but the controls on mine for when the settings and all that are being run, then that would be more logical of how it would work, because it would be adapting. But for some reason it's not working. I don't know if it's something where I have to adapt to like systems and that in order for it to work, or if it just can't handle PC at the moment. And I'm starting to get glitchy again, but I'm not going to worry. So yeah, there's that type of problem with the Happauge. It won't record properly, so this video is a heads up that I'm not going to be able to do this week, and because this week might not be working, so next week might not work either. I know I could use this mod that I tried getting called the replay mod, where you can display your whole gameplay and all that, and put in the audio later, but basically the problem with that is I don't know how to run it. I can't seem to get around it, and it's just too difficult. I was thinking of using it for roleplay, but then I was just thinking it's just going to be too difficult to run at the moment. So this is also one of the excuses for why I can't do it. I can't do recording at the moment because the Happauge isn't letting me. I don't have any technical support on knowing what to do or anything like that. So my trouble as a YouTuber, I have to do it on my own. I don't have any technical support or assistance toward helping. I'm not singling out Slinky. He's not at fault. No, I'm not putting the pressure on him because he doesn't know, and that's fair for him because I don't know either. I know only part of it, of how to run it, but I can't get it working properly this time. So I'm not going to be able to do a video this week or probably next week. And the reason why I can't do it next week, mainly this week, is because Wi-Fi is a bit shifty, and Dad's going to be taking the router in Wednesday, which is usually when I upload a video for a week. So I was thinking I'd upload today, Tuesday, but the problem with that is it's not working properly. So I have a feeling it could be the Wi-Fi. I had a theory with another program. Can't remember what it was, but yeah, apparently I have a feeling it might be the Wi-Fi. So if the Wi-Fi is the problem with why the Happauge isn't working properly, then that would explain why it isn't responding very well, even though I have the cords in that. It might need a Wi-Fi assistance, because after all, the support page is linked toward the screen in display of it. So you can go to like the question mark on the top right corner that's beside the options of putting it by minimizing it to your bottom bar or display below, and making a smaller screen or full screen, and also Xing out of the project altogether by closing it. There'd be the left option with a question mark toward that feature. But I have a feeling if it is the internet that's having a problem, then at least when Dad gets the stuff going for that, like gets it fixed, because we're trying to get it figured out, because Shaw is really being difficult for us right now. And so what I might do is, because after all, this is my dad's place I'm at with the background, my office is at my mom's place, so what I might do is I'll see about next week if I do go for her week. I'll see about bringing the Happauge and equipment over, seeing about how that's all going to go down, and if it's the Wi-Fi at this place that's having trouble, or if it's the Happauge that needs technical repairs or anything like that. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna test and see if that's the case. But if it's the Wi-Fi here, then hopefully when the router gets fixed up, or at least renewed or anything like that, then I'm pretty sure it will get the situation will be in better hands. But yeah, the reason why I'm not able to do much in the way of videos and editing and all that is because I don't have much technical support. So I was wanting to increase my videos, but by keep going with enough so that we'd get better at hosting, but mainly for that we could also get a better way of like spreading the word out about us, so that in case if anyone was there wanting to support, and I'm not meaning other YouTubers, mainly like say technical support, like certain companies, I don't know, but something like that where they were wanting to support like little YouTubers, stuff like that. Basically seeing if anyone was out there would like to offer their technical know-how or support or whatever that is for the channel, because I could really use it. Because the problem is, with most of these problems I have to deal with in my life for a long time, when I come across something like the Happauge, because, well, I might as well open up to, because I did put it on the list for the first vlog when I was trying to label down what I was talking about, and one of that was what I'm dealing with. So some of you may not know this, but I have symptoms. I know I said I had symptoms before, but I didn't clarify on what they were. So I'm going to be explaining why this technical stuff is difficult for me. And it might take a little bit, but I'm going to be going on as best I can, but also not going too long. I don't need to worry about how long I take, because I'm going to be going straight into it and then hopefully ending the video from there. But basically, the reason why things are so difficult for me are from these symptoms. I have 4 symptoms. 4. Just in case if you don't understand the word, depending on if you aren't really good at English or anything. But yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the amount. Okay, let's go with this. So in my family, we have pretty much on both sides ADHD. And for some of you who don't know what ADHD is, it's basically like hyperactive. It's kind of like, say, you when you're hyper, like basically, say if you have a sugar rush or something like that without the sugar crash, it's kind of like that. And I do have medication that I take every day for limiting that, so it basically what it does is it makes you a bit hyperactive, but also makes it hard for you to focus. And that's where multitasking can be a bit of a difficulty. So ADHD is one of the things that I have which are difficult. Other things I have, well, we all have this one, but some are more at a critical point where it's actually a diagnosis. And a diagnosis just meaning like something that people will have so that you know you have that symptom. And that is OCD, and that's Obsessive-compulsive disorder, which is basically meaning, like, you say you like things even, like, say, it's kind of hard to explain, like when you look at something, like saying Minecraft on, like, Stampy or Squishy's channel, like, saying they like to keep it all symmetrical, it's basically an OCD fact. Now, everyone has OCD, but there are some people who have it as a diagnosis point where it's actually more advanced, like me, for instance. OCD is something everyone has, just a minor thing that is it's just us liking to keep things even. That's what it is. But some people with diagnosis toward it, it's a bit more complex for that, where it's like a little bit more serious for them, where they like things more even. And that's, and I think Stampy said he has a bit of that. But yeah, basically ADHD, OCD, that's so far what I covered down. So I'm going to be going on with the one that's been the difficulty the most. And there might be a bit of history that you might not have known. I'm pretty sure it's true because I've been told about this. But the thing I have that's been my most downfall problem is autism. Yes, autism. For those who don't know what autism is, basically I'm high functioning autistic. There's actually a scale toward it. High functioning was where I'm at, well, still I'm at, and the fun fact about it, before I was diagnosed with autism, when I was like younger, like a baby or something like that, I was so complex, like I was so smart or something like that. I don't know, I act so much different that the doctors wouldn't believe I was high functioning autistic because of how advanced I was. I don't know. But basically, my point is, it's where the brain activity is a little bit more complex, or at least a little bit more, in a way, smarter. I don't know. But what I'm saying exactly is for autism is the fact how, so basically for the scale, yeah, there's a certain setup. Like high functioning is a little bit more advanced where I'm able to be like you in a way, like where I'm able to talk and that, but there are certain times like when you're low functioning, there could be the thing where you couldn't really move properly or you couldn't talk. Like I know a kid that my mom works with, I'm not going to say his name because I'm respectful, and basically he can't talk. He can only like grunt in that. He's like, ah, or something like that. And he can't really talk, but he's able to really be evolved. Like he's able to point things out, stuff like that. He does have an iPad with certain controls to let you know what he's looking into. There are certain things he's able to do, but there are also things he's able to notice, even though he can't talk. Now, even though he's low function autistic, where he can't really move or talk that well, it's mainly the talking he can't do. But yeah, there's that type of thing. It doesn't mean he still has he's still a great kid. He has a great mind and all that. It's just he can't talk, so he can't express himself that well. With me, on the other hand, for the high functioning, where I'm at, some people, it's a lot different depending on the scale. But basically, with high function autistic, for me is your mind is so complex that it's like you're a genius in a way. But for my part, for how to describe it is, when you get to a certain flaw or something like the Happauge, where I can't find a solution toward it, I sometimes collapse. And the problem with that is, like, even though my mind's so complex, I can find these type of scenarios. As soon as I get to that flaw, it's like when you're driving. Literally, it's like when you're driving at like top speed of the speed limit. Just a little bump, like say what some cops can do to slow down speeders. They would bump the car just like a light tap, and that light tap can actually take them off course and make them go out of control. And that's what's like autism. It's like you're driving a car at a top speed, and just when you come to a place where, or a spot where there's a little bump in the road or something, that little bump, if you can't find a scenario to get around that problem, that little bump's going to make you go out of control. And that's exactly what's with autism when it comes to like my autism, for instance. So the Happauge, the case I had before, I'm doing a lot better now, is the problem when I can't get around something, it's frustrating, and then my mind can't operate, I bash my head. That's how serious it is. I don't do that anymore. That was light. I was just showing a little light thing. I'm literally not hurting myself. It's like a tap. Like, it's like that, literally. So don't worry about that. I'm not bashing my head right now. I haven't for a while. I do my best to manage it. But the thing is, yes, it's like a bump in the road, and the Happauge is one of those bumps. I think the Wi-Fi might be the problem. I think it just needs the router replaced. I haven't tried it at Mom's. I only tried it for the Blameless event when I said how I had to cut out half of the video because of the fact it wouldn't work for the rest of it. So what I had to do was, because it went on battery mode and then it just went hectic. So I had to take off the screen display of myself and basically put in just it when I was at Mom's week. So I was able to do it there so that I could re-record but also get it ready for the Monday or Halloween time. So I don't care if this vlog goes a little bit longer than it should, because you need to know about some of these serious things, and that's one of the reasons why I need some support. So if I can get noticed with some technical support from any person that's willing to help out, there's the answer. It's because when I come across it, I'm about to collapse. I can't get very far on my own, even though Slinky's there, and even though he has a bit something like what I do in a way. It's just he doesn't even know, and I don't want to put the pressure on him so that he has to fall apart from it too, because when it comes to these problems, whenever I'm dealing with these type of problems, I don't want my friends or that to be there, because if it's them that's there and they're having to deal with me, I feel like I'm just going to make it worse for them, and that's one thing I don't want to do to them. So, yeah, there's that problem. And a lot of the time, when it comes to, I always say to my dad that I don't have enough support, and he says that's a lie, but it's mainly, here's the fact, when it comes to it's mainly certain things I need help with. Now, I'm saying for like when it comes to things I know I need support with that are physically able to be done, and one of those things is like the Happauge, for instance. The problem is I can't seem to get around or figure out what's going on. If I can at least find out what's happening and not being able to, if it's being able to be fixed or anything, if I can just find the answer on what's going on or if there is a way to fix it, I just want to know that. I don't care if I have to do all of it myself. I just want to know the answer. If I have an answer, and that's the problem with autism, that sometimes some autistic people like that, they always look for an exact answer, like it has to be one thing or the other. And that's the problem. But with me, for what will happen is, if I'm able to find the answer, then I will be relieved because I know what's going on and why it's not like that. It's kind of like, say, it's kind of like a Scooby-Doo thing, for instance. It's like when you're trying to figure out what's going on, like the thing they leave out is, how did the people disappear in some of those scenarios? Like, how do they get them to disappear and all that? Like, they never cover that part. They just let it be like how in the original type of ones, there'd be like, when they try to make it look like it's actually a real thing that they're pretending to be, type of stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically what the problem is. It's like not knowing the answer. That's what it is. So if I can't find the answer, then I'm going to be collapsing a lot. I think there's a hair inside here. I don't know. Oh my word. I'm going to have to see about getting that out if there is one or if it's just a little thread. I can't do this. Like, yeah, I can't tell. But I'm not going to go, I cannot tell what's going on. So, yeah, basically, let's just continue. So autism, yes, it's complex, and it's like a bump in the road when you're at this top speed and you're like past the speed limit, and that's what I find it's like. It's like our brains are at a speed limit, but with autism, they go beyond the speed limit, and when it comes to a bump in the road, that little fragment or whatever that bump is can take it completely off course, and that is what I find autism is like. And at the moment, Happauge is being like that, but I hope it's the Wi-Fi, and that's what I'm saying. If I can find an answer for why it's acting like that, like an exact answer at least, then I can know if I'm able to do anything about it or if I'm not. I just want to know the capability of what I'm able to do. That's all. Seriously, that's the only thing. I just want to find the answer if I have to, and that's what I'm going with. So I didn't mention the fourth condition I have, the symptom, I mean, and that's Tourette syndrome. Now, I'm not going to go into detail as much about it because the autism was the most important part of this video, and basically what it is just, it's too much for me to handle, and when it comes to it, I don't have much support. And when I say that, I know I said it before and didn't finish, so that's why I'm doing it now. And with that, the reason why I say it is because when I'm looking for guidance towards something, or if I can't even find an answer, I just need someone to help me out. But the problem is either, and it's not an exact thing or anything, but here's my problem. So when it comes to people who are wanting to help, sometimes they don't know how to help. Or say if it's a pod, for instance, they don't know technically how to like prepare with all that. But say if there were genius, like the developers themselves, or something like Geek Squad, I don't know, something like that. If they were genius at these type of things, if I would ask them for help, either they wouldn't care or they just don't want to help. So when it comes to people who do want to help, they don't fully know either, and they're pretty much in the same scenario as I am. But when it's someone who does know, they either aren't able to or won't, and that's where my problem is. So I'm not putting in any pressure or anything on any of you who either want to help but don't know how to contact me, or if you don't know but you do want to help, you don't have to worry. I'm just explaining what I'm dealing with. It's just a scenario that I've been dealing with for a long time, and you don't have to worry. I'm going to have to take time off for video making. If I can't make any videos, then I'm going to be taking the time to look into why that is. And if the Happauge is going to be malfunctioning like it has been, then that's going to have to be it. So I'm sorry about not being able to release video, and I know that series isn't really doing well anyways. But also, not only I'm giving a Slinky a break, but this gives me a proper chance to do some more testing. And if it is Wi-Fi related, then it's a good thing. We're going to be looking into it the next week. So the reason why next week I say isn't usually the case when it comes to Mom's Week every now and then is because I don't have the Happauge with me, because I'd rather keep it in one place where I won't have a chance of losing it. But if it does come to that point, I'm gonna take it next week if I can't find an answer, and I'm going to see if it's the Wi-Fi that needed to be fixed. So yes, that's what's going to be. So I'm going to end off the video by explaining what Tourette syndrome is, and that's the fourth symptom that I have. Basically, for example, Bill Gates has it, apparently. But apparently he has ways to manage his symptoms toward it. But basically, yeah, there's a lot of that. Basically, it's like, it's where you have the problem where you're taking, like, I just did noise with my mouth. It's like that, for instance, like uncontrollable, like, or like hiccups or stuff like that. A Tourette syndrome is basically where you have these tics or some motion that you do. I don't know. It's something where you don't have control over, and some people are really annoyed with you. And you want to know how I found out before I got realized when I got diagnosed? I went to Ledger House. It's a type of I was about to call it a rehab, but it's not really like that. It's mainly to help kids in that with these conditions be able to manage themselves more, and it was basically the best thing for me. And the first day when I was there was this video on Tourette syndrome and all the facts. I was actually like, wait, do I have Tourette syndrome? I was actually curious, and then I heard him diagnosed. I'm like, wow, I learned about Tourette syndrome before I even knew I had it. Oh, what a coincidence. But yeah, so the person I was referring to that was like for historical before, it was on the Autism, and I don't know if it's true or not, but basically I heard someone from camp or something like that tell me, this kid, that Einstein had autism, and apparently from how his was like, it's basically from his mind was so complex that he was like a genius with the autism. And he did say the last 2 days of Einstein's life was when the autism went just like reverse course and just went down, and that's why he collapsed, because of the autism or something. I don't know. But that's pretty much what I've been told. I don't know if it's true, so don't yell at your screens or me or anything like that if it isn't true. I'm just saying it's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. So don't get upset if it isn't, or if it is, or just don't cause a riot over it. It's just a theory. A theory is just to share what people think when they know it's just a possibility, but not admitting it's the truth. Meaning they don't fully know, and I don't fully know. So that's the case. So that's going to be it. Now you know why the Happauge thing is going to be a problem. So at least because I couldn't figure out a plan for next week, I can see if I can do the recording next week instead. The editing software, the movie studio platform, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm trying to figure out how to use it to its full potential, where I'm able to go beyond the editing, where I can use most of the features, like modifying all that stuff like that. At the moment, I can only insert pictures, cut up the frames of cut up some of the footage that doesn't need to be there, and just literally I literally just go split for the area I want to get rid of. I right click it, go to cut, and just drag the thing together. That's literally what I do. I don't even know how to piece it together for a quick thing. That's how funny it is, but I'm pretty sure that's the only way you can do it anyways. And I'm using advanced mode, so that's where I know I wanted to use full potential. And there is a music tab underneath too, and I want to try to use that soon, but at the moment, I don't know how. So yeah, shows how I want to use that to its full potential, but I can't seem to do that. So anyways, that's going to be it for this example of like what's going on, why the Happauge is being difficult, and why it's hard for me to release content right now. But no, I am working towards getting it done. I really want to make more content for you all. It's just, problem is, it's getting it all working and all in place. If I can find out why the Happauge is being like this, and if there is a way to fix it or make it work properly, then I hope I'm able to do more with that info to actually fix it, or at least get more technical support to like do more stuff for the channel, and possibly in the future maybe understand the mods I have a bit better. I know I said in the last vlog about what they were, but it's mainly so that I know what's going on about how to use them in case for the roleplay setup on for Patricia Plays or any other roleplay I'm thinking of doing, because at the moment Windows isn't working either. And another theory about that, I did hear an article that's a possibility that it could be something in the router that is old in the router. So if when the router gets replaced, if it does work after that, then the only problem was wireless connection. That would be the ironic thing, but I'll let you know more details on when stuff like that's going to happen. I don't know when the router will get here. I know it's going Wednesday because Dad will remember to take it. But yes, I'm going to upload it Tuesday, the day before Wednesday, because I don't think I'll have time for the rest. And this is just a heads up that this week isn't going to work. So this vlog's going to replace that until we can get things working, with explanations of what's going on, what my symptoms are, what my problems are dealing with, and all that. So I'm sorry if this is a little bit longer than a regular vlog, as I'm trying to limit down because of editing and all that. But I'm not going to worry too much. I'm going to edit a little bit because there are more information that needs to be told. I'm just removing some of the parts where I mess up to save a little bit of footage playtime, because I don't want to worry about having too much footage, but I need to have enough footage for explaining myself and what's going on. So yes, we're working on the Happauge, seeing what's going on with that. We're going to be looking into a bunch of that type of stuff, and I can guarantee you that it's all going to be fine. We're going to be working on it as best we can, and who knows, if it works at my mom's for the recording feature, then it's the Wi-Fi or something else. I don't know. I'm going to look into it, I promise. And also, I'm going to be looking into that. I have a lot of plans for the channel, so I'm not going to quit. I'm not. Even though I lost a subscriber when I last checked, I'm not going to quit. So, hey, I got 10 subscribers. Yay! But still, confidence, passion, perseverance. That's it. Perseverance, and that's one of the things that I'm pretty good at, to be honest, and I'm going to keep on trying, because I know from YouTubers and all that, you can't expect to be good instantly or any of that. So perseverance is a good way of knowing. And it's like this, I don't remember what they are. It's this baseball team or something like that. And with them, they felt like they were cursed because they never won. And about this year or last year, something like that, they finally won a game. I don't know what it is. You probably know just from how I described it, but yeah, they pretty much won, and they did well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all that. So may the legend live on, dimensional out, see y'all later, and yes, we will be looking into this problem, and hopefully we'll come up with a solution that will always, that will work out. So as my dad says every time, when it comes to these problems, which I've always liked to follow with, and this goes for you too, before I say goodbye, there's always a solution, and that's always the case when it comes to that, and most of the time that's always true. So bye everyone, and hopefully we'll get the answer and figure out what's going on, and hopefully find a solution toward what's going on. And if we can't, we'll see about it. We'll investigate as best we can, and until then, yeah, enjoy the remaining content that's already up, and feel free to give a like if you want to support the channel. But at this point, we don't know what's happening, so we're going to be looking into it as best we can. So yeah. So take care, everyone.